Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Hflow Conversations. We are live here every other Monday at 8 p.m. And we got something coming for y'all. So, y'all might be seeing us every Monday coming real soon. Y'all just stand by for that. I am not here alone. My name is Christine Jackson. Welcome to Cashflow Conversations. Cashflow Conversations is for anyone over the age of 18 who loves having fun, loves helping people, and loves being an entrepreneur. But I am not alone. I am here with my one of my co-hostesses with the mostesses, Coach Tina J is with me today. How you doing, Coach Tina J?
Hello, hello, hello. How you doing today? It's great to be here in the building.
I know that's right. How you doing?
Today is a beautiful day. I feel amazing and productive as usual.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Same, same, same. I have been working on some health related issues, and one of them, I got to work out. You got to work out. I tell people all the time, especially being over 50, work out now before you get to 50 and keep going after you turn. It has to be a part of your everyday life. It just has to be. And I used to work out a whole lot. I used to be very,
Hmm.
very active. And then I don't know. I just stopped and it's showing, right? So I feel like I did good today. I had a whole hour long workout and that was invigorating, right? So now I got energy to go do the other things that I need to do for the day because when you work out, you get your, blood circulation going and all of that. So I'm happy to be here. We've had a productive week, like from the business launches, the presentations and all the things, right? We've been doing our thing, meeting new people, expanding our networks. That's something that you have to do as an entrepreneur, am I right?
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. I mean, especially with you being in such a environment to where it's everybody that you can connect to. So, so many people in this world.
Absolutely, absolutely. I met an amazing couple this week. It was hard for me to believe that they were in town for their granddaughter's graduation. And I'm looking at them like, y'all don't look like y'all old enough to have a grandchild graduating from high school. But they did. And they reached out to me and we hung out. They hired me for the whole day Thursday. And I got a chance to hang out with them and the family and all the things and got paid for it. So, blessings on blessings on blessings, right? Gotta love that.
Yes.
Gotta love that. So,
Absolutely. They say knocking two birds out in one stone. Who wouldn't love that?
absolutely, yes. Getting paid and making friends. You gotta love it. So, we just start talking like we just here by ourselves. We do have a live audience. So maybe, just maybe, we might should introduce ourselves. Okay. So I am Christine Jackson out of Atlanta, Georgia area, from St. Louis, Missouri. Cashflow Conversations is for anyone over the age of 18, whether you're single, married, parents, no children, homeowners, or renters, whether you get a 1099 or a W 2. If you desire multiple streams of income, you love to travel, you like helping other people, then we have a way for you to do that without it interfering with what you're already doing, right? This business was built for for the busy person, and I'll prove it to you with some amazing guests from my network who are making things happen for themselves every single day. So, Coach Tina J, why don't you introduce yourself and tell the people who you are?
Hello, everybody. My name is Coach Tina. Always a pleasure to be here on Cash Flow Conversations. I am a serial entrepreneur who loves also to travel. My travel company is called Traveling Uplifters, and we are definitely here to serve you what you need when you need it. Whether you want to go luxury or whether you classy, we got you. Anyway, it's just
I love
amazing
it.
to
I love it.
be in business for yourself.
And how long have you been in the business?
I've been in the business coming on 2 years. My travel part, so
Okay.
it's just an opportunity to be able to advance in a capital to be the serial entrepreneurship.
Why did you start a travel business of all businesses? I'm just curious.
I love
People might be wondering.
and well, I really honestly I love to travel. Like everywhere, everything I do, even with Get to the Core, it's a world internationally known platform. So I figure I need to be able to take care of my patients. I need to be able to take care of my flights no matter where I need to go in the world. So it's like
Mm,
be able to have that along with my other services. It's just amazing.
yeah, I get that. And when I first heard about the ability to own your own travel agency, the first thing I thought about was my health and wellness background because I moved to Atlanta to expand that business, right? Even though I drive now, with Joy Journeys Travel and Tourism, I focus more on the tourism side, but of course, I still offer full service travel agency and everything. But when I first got started, it wasn't about that for me. I was thinking, oh, I've always wanted to do retreats. So, let me get this wellness travel certification and I can do the retreats and get paid twice, right? And I was thinking, I saw dollar signs. I was just like, look, I can book this retreat and I can facilitate the retreat. Like, ooh, that's money on top of money. And so getting to the bag, right? Just really getting to the bag, chasing those coins. But what I learned, the more that I've been inside of the business, because we have two businesses. We have our travel businesses and then we have our marketing
Mhm.
company. And with the marketing for me, I thought, you hear the word marketing, you're thinking advertisements. I had no idea. I had no idea what it meant to be a part of Planet Marketing. I like literally had no idea. When I figured it out though, when I figured it out, I was like, "Uh-oh. Okay, I see the personal development. I see the education. I see the edutainment. Like, oh, speaking of edutainment, that smile. I meant to say this earlier, but you look like you still on the high from Eagle Weekend. The lifestyle, the culture,
Oh
all
my!
the things. Yes.
The ability just to see everything all in live flesh. It was just like wow. You don't you dream to go into these type of places. I
Mm.
goal set it to make sure I got into the space. And because I saw all the Eagles going last year, I made a little video and I said, I hope you guys see me next year because I'm going to have my all white and I'm going to be boarding the yacht. And this
I
year,
love it.
I made it happen to be able to board the yacht in real life. Oh, gosh, it was mind blowing.
Oh my goodness. I know it was. And I'm over here now because I know that I didn't get a chance. And you know what? The only reason I want to go now is because you went and your excitement of, telling me about the whole thing, like when you came back. And I'm like, oh, I gotta go. I really need to go do this. I really want to go now. What was your favorite part?
My
That
favorite
much,
part
it's hard to
was
pick.
actually it is hard to pick because it's like from the time to the hotel, all the way to class, all the way to class, and just getting ready to board the yacht. And like the experience in being on the, I think that was my hugest war because like that yacht
Mm,
was 4 stories deep.
wow.
It was definitely a mega yacht experience. And it was just like the ability just to walk around freely and walk up to Rachel Liley and walk up to, Lindsay Mahole. And it's just like, wow. Sitting next to big people, they're big, you know what I'm saying? They're just talking to you and pouring straight love into you. We care too.
Mhm.
And I'm like, that's a beautiful thing to know that we're in such a beautiful culture, royalty like this. It was refreshing. I'm
Wow.
not even gonna hold you. I'm still refreshed. Like, wow. I'm still like blown away.
It sounds like it, and for it, I felt like that when we went to my first time going to the anniversary banquet ball or whatever, right, last
Mhm.
year. And I was just blown away at the opulence. Everybody looked so nice. Everybody was dressed to the nines, and the food, the open bar, the fact that we were on the water. You could just be the content, right? The content creation, and it was amazing. And so that's kind of one of the luxurious parts, the lifestyle that I don't think we talk enough about when we talking about Planet, right? Like we talk about
Yeah.
the ability to book travel and earn money, and that's the travel side, but I don't think we give enough credit to the marketing
Right.
side and what it actually does for people's lives. But
Right.
just hearing you talk about it, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to show a little bit of what that looked like. And this is the video from last year, which you said you saw, which made you want to go this year. And now coming back from this year's Eagle Weekend, I'm hearing your take, and now I got to be there next year. And and honestly, it's something I never thought about doing. I never saw myself doing it, but then when you see all the pictures and all the videos and you hear the music, we got Frank Ski on the ones and twos, and he throws down, and you got, okay, I need to experience this for myself. I've seen Millionaires Row, but I saw it on the boat. I want to see it from the yacht now. You talking about 4 stories, a 4-story yacht? Like, really? So let's take a look at Eagle Weekend from 2024, or is it 2025? I think so.
Mhm.
Let me know if you can see it. There it is. Okay, let's take a look at what Eagle Weekend looks like as a lifestyle event, right?
20%, but can you feel it for real?
Yes.
Can you really feel it?
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Where my coach Tina J go? Uh-oh. There she is. What the heck? All right, there she is. Were you able to see everything?
I was able to just sit back and it's just like amazing. It was absolutely amazing. I'm
Absolutely
telling
love
you
it. I
what,
love
I
it. I love
made
it.
my
I love it.
statement on the dance floor.
You said you made your statement on the dance floor. I heard y'all had boots on the
I made
ground.
my statement on the dance. Started up a whole soul train on the third floor. It was a good. It was
Awesome,
amazing. It was
awesome,
amazing. It was
awesome.
amazing.
So tell me what did you learn, right? So I've been hearing all week. Last week they talked about it on the Inspirational Morning Vitamin takeaways from Eagle Weekend, from the training, right? One of the things that stuck with me is I think it was Rachel Lauji who said 1 hour in the right environment can change your life. Talk about it. 1 hour in the right environment can change your life. How so? How so?
Cause
What say you, Coach Tina J?
I'm, you know, people are so the from what they grew up in, right? And it's
Hmm.
like you can't you can't dare to think like that. You want to go forward. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you get around people, like-minded people who actually are in a growth set or thinking more and thinking more, you know what I'm
You
saying?
break up.
You know what I'm saying? It's such a
Well, Tina's having a Coach Tina J is having a little bit of technical difficulties, but um, you know, what she was saying is that proximity, right? That proximity to people, becoming a product of your environment is gonna happen anyway. But the thing about it is you get to choose the environment. Which environment do you want to become a product of? Right? I think that's kind of where you were going with it, right? The proximity.
I will always continue. You choose to grow, then you will grow. If like one of my hugest takeaways was like it's a top tier exposure that changes your mindset. And like when you get around leaders who are operating at a start to realize that success is not accidental. It's very intentional.
Ooh,
It's very
come
disciplined.
on.
It's
Yes.
a learned behavior. It's okay to have fun and let loose, but you have to know when to will it back in because we are leaders. And this is elite tier. It
Upper
changes your
echelon,
whole
baby.
mind and how it changes your whole aspect of how you were thinking before you took the sacrifice to come down to where came together. And then when
Absolutely.
you realize I made one of the sacrifices and made it happen successfully.
Yeah, that sense of accomplishment That sense of accomplishment is very important. When you really one of my big lessons of being a part of this organization and tapping into all the personal development is when you do the thing that's hard, right? When you do the because I mean a lot of stuff in life is hard. Being broke is hard. Getting wealthy is also hard. Choose your hard, right? Being, I was talking earlier about the
Mhm.
workout. Being overweight is hard. Working out is hard. Which hard do you want? Which hard is going to help move the needle forward? So making that sacrifice, being in a season of sacrifice where yesterday, for example, I really wanted to be out at Piedmont Park to see one of my favorite artists perform. But we had plans, right? We had plans to launch our businesses. We had plans to practice before we got on to launch. And so I had to make a decision. I wanted to cancel. I really did. But I made a commitment to this team that I would be there. And so sometimes you have being an entrepreneur is not for the weak. And that's what this whole show is about, right? It's about, entrepreneurs, coaches, and trainers and influencers all moving on to the next level, and then also leaving words of encouragement and not kicking the ladder down for the people that's coming behind us, right? So that sacrifice that you just talked about was huge. Even if it's just time off work, the money spent to get there, time away from the babies. Sometimes sacrifices have to be made in order for you to get to your next level. And then once you make the sacrifice, talk about this. Talk about the the commitment, because if you decided to make the sacrifice, you had to be committed to whatever you was making the sacrifice to do. You didn't just go to
Absolutely.
Miami. Yeah, you didn't just go to Miami to be at Eagle Weekend and not go to class and be in the hallway.
Mm-mm. My whole biggest thing in going to Eagle Weekend was I know that we are huge on leadership, and I wanted to be around the top leaders, including our founder and CEO, to see how it's being modeled firsthand.
Hmm.
What are you doing? And just have the opportunity to just watch. Opportunity for him to just notice you and come up and give you this little look and give you a hug. And I'm like, wow. One of the hugest things is noticing that you are seen. We see you. We appreciate you. It don't matter what type of ranking you are at. You are here. We see you. You've been watching you. And that's beautiful to just
Absolutely.
know that you're doing something by being yourself.
Yes, being your authentic self. And everybody in that room or everybody on that yacht made a sacrifice. So when you say like the founder, giving you that nod, like I see you, you made the sacrifice to be here, and I know that your business is going to grow because of it, right? I remember
Hmm.
when you said that, it made me think about Tuesday nights in Atlanta, right? We're live in person, and when I first got into the business in 2021, I went to a couple of meetings, and then I was like, this is crazy. Why am I coming to this place every week to hear the same old thing? But the mind, the mindset had to shift, right? So one thing, the first shift was my sponsor, the guy who brought me in, saying, I want you to buy a monthly pass, because if you buy the monthly pass, he said, one thing I know about black women, if you spend your money on it, you want your money's worth. So if you buy the monthly pass, you'll be here every week. And so I listened to him. I was coachable, and I bought the monthly pass. This was probably the end of 2022. And so I was at the very first meeting for January 2023, and Mr. Bradley was there. Again, we talking proximity, right? In the room with all these high achievers, these people who achieve on a high level. And he stood up in the front room and it felt like he was talking right to me. He said, I guarantee you this. If you show up at every one of these meetings all year long, your business is going to grow. You are going to grow, but you have to apply what you learn. So I said, okay, I'm going to take him up on it. Right. And then I think maybe a week or so later, we started reading this book called Goals by Brian Tracy. And he was on the Inspirational Morning Vitamin. Mr. Bradley was on there again. And I'm like, this guy owns the company. He does not have to be doing this. You're right. He gonna make his money regardless. But that goes to show his heart. He has a heart of gold. And he held up the book by Brian Tracy and he said, this is the book that helped me make my first million. So of course now I'm sitting up and paying attention. So I'm all in the book. I'm doing everything the book is telling me to do. And my life began to shift. My finances began to increase. My mindset began to shift. My work ethic began to increase. My level of dedication and commitment began to increase. So when she said 1 hour in the right environment can change your life, imagine if you multiply that. What if you 10x that? 10 hours in the right environment. Definitely gonna change your life and make it 10 times better. Talk about just the change that you've seen in yourself. I know your 2 year anniversary is coming up. Talk about the person you was 2 years ago when you first came in compared to the person you are today. Man, I don't know what is going on with Tina's internet tonight, but the conversation was just getting good, y'all. I'm sure she will be back in as soon as possible. There she is. There she is. I was just saying she'll be back, y'all. She'll be back. And here she is. She's back.
Excuse me. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome
But
back.
the person who I was 2 years ago is a person who was just eager. I just wanted to get into this because I've always wanted to find something that, you know what I'm saying, and whenever they was ready, they can come to me and I take care. I make sure that they're taken care of whenever they. I did it in high school, so I wanted to do it as a career. I always been on here, so it made sense to me. So like then I felt just a little. I had to grow into my passion. I knew I was always passionate, but once I got more deeper into it, as I started involving myself and going to Augusta meetings, I started going to Atlanta meetings. I had a random trip to North Carolina meetings. You know what I'm saying? To get myself out there, make sure I went to conventions, just really making sure that I'm in tapped in to what's happening. So it's just like all the times that I commit and all the times that I make it happen, it's just another layer of leadership that's evolving me into what I need to be. And we're still growing daily.
So would you
So
say
it's completely different on who I was.
right, I was gonna say what's the
Then
biggest change? Yeah.
you said, what's the biggest change?
Yeah, what's the biggest change that you notice or that somebody may have told you they noticed? I know people from the outside that are not in the business that just my family and friends, some of the comments that I hear now, oh my God, you've changed. Like what's some of the stuff that you hear, the biggest things that you hear from people that knew you 2 years ago that know you today? The Tina that they're looking at today is totally different from the Tina that they knew 2 years ago. What's the biggest change for yourself?
The big, I feel the biggest change is my growth, staying committed to pain of stay focused. And anything that I said I was slowly but surely, this is getting another tally mark. And it's at my longer in competition world
Ooh.
or wonder what the world thinks. I just focus into myself and whoever is meant for me. And I love that part.
Mm, I love it. I absolutely love it. And I wholeheartedly agree. It's like we were talking earlier about becoming a product of your environment, right? I was born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri, one of the roughest, toughest places in the world, right? And um when I moved to Atlanta, when I started visiting Atlanta, I saw a little different life. And I saw that I wanted that life. I wanted something different outside of the norm, the how I grew up. I didn't want to be a product of that environment anymore because I was rough around the edges. I was tough, will fight anybody at any time. I When I tell people I used to be a thug, can you believe I used to be thugged out, Tina? I was right. I was about it. I was about it.
I believe it. Believe it. We come such a long way. Listen,
Yes, yes, my
had
jaw
us on the
turned. Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Body, rowdy, rowdy. That was me. Like, na 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 na. Yes, I was definitely thug life, baby. Like for real. You couldn't tell me I was not one of the toughest chicks walking the streets of the Lou. But proximity, changing the environment, you know, Atlanta, I tell people all the time, Atlanta grew me up because you got to, if you're gonna survive in this town, you got to put your big girl boots on, strap them boots up, and be ready because I call it the capital of finesse. People see you and they think you, oh, you new, you green to the situation. Oh, you better grow up. Naivete is not gonna benefit you well in a town like this. You have got to become ready to be a victor and not a victim. No victims over here. My girl's internet is logging in, lagging in and out, and so we're just having a conversation. Cash flow conversations is for anybody who wants to normalize having conversations about how to get to the bag. And so that's what we're doing. We do this every other week. We're soon coming up on where we could be able to do it every week. But for right now, we're doing it every other week. And it's just a conversation about, how to get to the bag. Um Today we kind of just it's rainy outside, it's the holiday. Everybody kind of chilling, doing their own thing. So Tina and I decided we're gonna come on here anyway. We not worried about it. We want to give big ups and thanks and praises to our veterans on this Memorial Day. We appreciate you guys. We had a special guest coming, but I guess she's not gonna make it. She's not gonna make it. But hopefully she still makes it. She still has time. But I want to talk a little bit about how do people create the lifestyle to be able to even afford to go on a yacht and party, right? Like what's some of the things like personal freedom, to have that personal freedom, that time freedom, and that financial freedom to do whatever it is that you want to do whenever you want to do it, no matter says anything. Like you're not waiting on permission. I think we all is that something that you strive for to have that time freedom where you don't have to ask permission for a day off?
It's absolutely every under about my 9 to 5. And I say, imagine my lifestyle is okay, freedom, freedom. And I mean, more my ideal life, the things I think about when it comes down to freedom.
Right. And that's exactly what this is. This is exactly what we teach people, how to build a strong network, how to use the power of e-commerce to make money and helping other people do the same thing at the same time with absolutely no paperwork and no quotas. And since you just came back from Eagle Weekend, like why don't you give them a little insight about, I know we know we are Planet Marketing, but what is it? What's some information you could share with the people about Planet Marketing?
Planet Marketing. Market is a decade-old company and is based right there in Atlanta, Georgia. Mr. Donald Bradley, our founder and CEO, is an heir to father for and a very much documented multi-millionaire who has 20 years in the travel space. Now, he did craft this business about 10 years ago, where he dedicated a very solid leadership team. And together, they have gotten us in over 20 countries worldwide. We are big time global and very internationally known. Not to
I
mention
love
that
it.
Planet has paid out $370 million in its reps day.
$370 million.
$370 million.
370 $370 million in the over a 10-year period. That's
Yes.
averaging 37 million. That's like $37 million a year being paid out. You know what, Tina? That reminds me of a story. True story, y'all. True story. True story. This was Remember I was telling you earlier when I decided to start going to the weekly meeting every week. Well, right before that, so that said they was I want to say it was October 2022. I will never forget it. It was the ninth anniversary, no, eighth anniversary. It was the eighth anniversary celebration in Atlanta, Georgia, at the Omni CNN Center, and there were, I want to say, one, two, to see Fulton County, DeKalb County, the city of Atlanta, the state of Georgia, and the United States. There were five branches of government there. And each one of those branches of government, from as high up as the United States House of Representatives to the state of Georgia to the city of Atlanta to Fulton County to DeKalb County, five different states of government. They sent representatives to present Mr. Bradley with um what you call it, not an award but a proclamation. They brought these proclamations out, and the biggest thing that stuck out to me was the House of Representatives proclamation said that Planet Marketing was being recognized not for its impact on the local economy, not for its impact on the state economy or the United States economy, the country's economy, but for its being recognized for its impact on the global economy. I remember sitting in that room thinking that's a big deal for five heads of state from five levels of government to be there to give this proclamation to this company because it has impacted the global economy. So when you say 20 countries worldwide, over 20 countries worldwide, and that is big time global and internationally known and recognized all across this country for its impact on the global economy. That means this company has, you said it, has paid out $370 million over the course of 10 years. We are creating our own economy. That's on average $37 million a year paid out to his reps.
And not only that, the everybody knows to have like a product, right? And
Wait,
in
before you do
every
that, I'm
product,
sorry.
even though
I'm sorry. Wait. I'm sorry. I
it's okay,
I'm
it's
sorry.
okay,
I just
it's
no.
okay.
I wanted
I'm so
I wanted to
excited.
Yes, I got excited and I really got emotional. But we're gonna stop right there and let's, because I wanted Jessica and Auntie Eve to be here, but I found this woman. I found this video of this woman, and we only have about 15 more minutes. We got 16 minutes. So, and this video I want
Okay.
to show you and get your feedback on. I really wanted Jessica and Eve to see it, but it's okay. I'm gonna show it anyway, and then we're gonna talk about it for in our last 10 minutes. How does that sound?
Okay, let's do. Love it.
I am a mom of three. I'm from the Philadelphia area. I was actually a teen mom, so people really counted me out in the beginning. It was tough. It was definitely tough because I was an honor roll student. Um, I was the one everyone looked up to. So when it happened, it almost looked like it would be an obstacle for me. But I did have a support system and I had a village, so I was able to complete school, do all the things that I wanted to do. I lost my mother at a young age. I lost my mother when I was 23. So I became the caregiver of everybody in my family. I had to take on my 10-year-old sister. She was 10 at the time. We're 10 years apart. And I already had my own two children. So I had to figure it out, right? I had to, try things and figure out ways to create that foundation for everyone around me. I became an entrepreneur in 2017 and I was a successful entrepreneur. I had an apparel company, I did some real estate investing, different things, but I realized although I was making good money, I was trading my time for money. I was missing out on important family moments because I was always working, trying to just build a life for me and my family. But then I found Planette. So I no longer have to trade my time for money. I can also make money, I can build a legacy, but I can, more importantly, I can spend time with my family. I can show up for family functions. I'm there when my children need me, and it's just a good life for me. My son was looking to take a trip to Dubai, and I was looking for ways to save on that trip to Dubai. I saw a post on social media. A young lady said, you can get paid to travel, and naturally I was intrigued. So I reached out to her. I joined the business in 2021. We took the trip, and then I stopped my business. I did nothing else with the business because, again, I was a full-time entrepreneur. So I really didn't have the time to build my business. But then I retired from all of my businesses in 2023, May 8th, 2023. And then I said to myself, as the time went on, it's like I was bored. I needed something to do. So I was looking for something. And God gave me a sign and said, go back to something that you used to do. Go back to something old. Don't start anything new. And I thought he wanted me to go back into printing because that was one of my successful businesses. Something hit me and just said, reach out. You travel all the time. Reach out to the young lady who, introduced you to the business originally. And I did that. So the original time I got into the business in 2021, I knew nothing about Planet. I only knew about IntelliTravel. When I came back in April, we had, it may have been a Super Saturday in Philadelphia. It was everyone there. Mr. Bradley, Cedric, Natalie, JP, and Orlando. They were all there. So that was my introduction to Planet Marketing. So you can only imagine That introduction, it allowed me to know that there was a vehicle out here that could help me build a legacy. It was no longer just a hashtag on social media. Is I have a vehicle where I can help free people. You have to get the word out there. You have to let people know that this exists and this could possibly change their lives. So my family know that I'm pretty obsessed when it comes to goals. So they're pretty supportive. And that's why they joined in the business as well. They do social media posts for me. They talk about it. They tell people, because they know that I'm really passionate, not only about helping people, but building a legacy for my family. Really, the question would be for me, why not? Once you understand what you have at your fingertips, once you align with Mr. Bradley's vision, once you just hear about his vision and you understand that he is here to help other people, there's no other place I'd rather be. I make good money on the stock market, but I will much rather be doing this opportunity so I can help other people, not just myself and my family, but other families as well. So that's why I plan that for me.
Wow.
Wow, indeed.
You
Wow,
know,
wow, wow.
things are things can happen. No matter what your situation might be, no matter all ordinary people choosing to do something an extraordinary thing. You know, it's just a beautiful feeling to be able to keep meeting people, think the same, encourage you the same, push you to your goals the same, depending on how determined your reach to get them. You know, but
Hmm.
it's all in the mindset of what you do.
Yeah. And then she spoke to that, a little bit. The first time she got into the business, it was just about that trip. She just wanted to save on that trip to Dubai, right? She took her son, they went to Dubai, and she saved a little bit of money, came back and was like, okay, I ain't got time for this right now. But then she got bored and decided to come back in. And we talked about proximity. Like you
Mm-hmm.
said, being on that yacht with all of those high achievers, like even for me, being, and you too, when you come on Tuesday nights in Atlanta, being in the room with people who achieve on a high level, it changes you. It changes you. Imagine that being your introduction to the company, right? You get to see all these people who are
Mm-hmm.
millionaires in the room, and they're not pretentious, they're not standoffish, they're so welcoming. It is something, I would say, one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. And I love the part where she talked about you got to get the word out. Come on, get to the core. We got to get the word out.
And do have to get the word out. It's very important to make sure that your support team knows what you're doing, because I'm big on awareness, and that's reasons why I love being here, because it gives that to be able to speak on the awareness that this is a new wave. Catch on, ride the
Yes.
wave,
Catch
ride the
on and
wave,
ride the wave.
catch
Ride the
on, ride
wave.
the wave.
So every time we get together, we know we talk about, okay, books that we've read and books that we recommend. And before we get to that part, I want to talk about something that has really affected me in a positive way from the last book. We just read Think and Grow Rich.
Okay.
And
So,
in that book, he talks about the 13 steps to riches. Come on, cash flow conversations. The 13 steps to riches. So I'm gonna leave you guys with the first one. This is I won't call it homework, but I'll say this. This is an experiment that I dare you to try. How about that? Right. And I can
okay.
speak to that because um that light just got bright. I turned it, but I know it's gonna be that bright. But I can speak to this because I have actually done this. I've actually done this experiment for myself. I've been doing it just about the whole month of May. And in the book, he talks about writing down your statement of definiteness of purpose. So everything you want starts out with a burning desire. And I love the example that he used about the baby learning to walk because nobody whispered in the baby's ear, you're going to walk one day. The baby just got to a certain age where the baby saw people walking around. It was like, why am I down here on the floor on my hands and knees crawling and all these people are walking on their feet? So the baby decides he has a burning desire to walk. And it may start with him pulling up. Somebody might put him in a walker. Whatever the case may be, that baby eventually walks. Majority, right? We all did it. We were all babies that decided we
Mhm.
wanted to walk. So, if that burning desire to walk has you walking upright right now, there's your proof that having a burning desire for something actually works. Right or wrong?
Right. Agreed.
Yes, absolutely. So, the definiteness of purpose exercise is basically what is your burning desire? First, you have to be clear and know what your burning desire is. So, for me, for the month of May, or when I wrote it down, I decided that I wanted to make $100,000 in the next 12 months. That's my burning desire. I want six figures within the next 12 months. I want to say from May of 2025 to from May of 2026 to May of 2027, I want to be able to say I made $100,000. So I wrote that down. This is what I want. And then the next step is, how do you plan to get it? What are you willing to do to get that $100,000? So I wrote that down. What I intend to do to get it. And when do you want it? So you got to know what you want, when do you want it, and what are you willing to do to go get it? Write that into a statement and read it with enthusiasm every morning and every night. So I broke the numbers down, and 100K a year is $8,333 a month, which equals just a little over $2,000 a week. So when I say every week except for one, the first week I wrote it, I think I wrote it like at the end of the week. So I really couldn't really count that week. I didn't make it. And I didn't get discouraged. I said, okay, I'm going to read it every day until I get it. When I tell you, my coach said, oh, you're doing a little dance with the universe. When I tell you money has been coming and coming and coming and coming for 3 weeks straight, I have made over $2,000 a week. And I'm like, oh, this stuff works. So, Tina, do you have a statement of definiteness of purpose?
I am living the statement in real life. My biggest desire is to be the best leader that I'm supposed to be, and
Mhm.
my biggest goal is to be that best version of myself. I always say I can't wait to shake that girl's hand. For me, it's more so as far as continuing to model the leadership that's shown in this beautiful culture and be a demonstration to be coachable, to be the best and continue to be the best.
So, but can we agree that if you write it down, have you written it down? I mean, is what I'm asking.
That's what I've been, and I'm not even going to sit up here and hold you. Everything that I've been taking in lately, I haven't gotten to the I'm writing it down. I'm going to be accountable. No, I have not.
Okay.
But before we
Okay.
come back on next time, it will be written down and clarified.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, okay. So you are going to, like, right here, right now, you have just announced that you're going to do the experiment. So when we come
I
back in
accept
two
the challenge.
weeks, you accept the challenge. So we're gonna have a report to see what that looks like in 2 weeks with Tina. And I've added to mine. So what I added to mine was my next big desire because I was like, okay, this worked for this. So now it's time to do it again with another desire, right? So my desire is to add 10 new people to my team before the end of June. So when I write my statement out again, it's going to be to add 10 new people to my team by June 30th, 2026. That's my new definiteness of purpose. And so right here live on Cash Flow Conversations, we're gonna come back with a report in 2 weeks to see how close we are. That was part of my first one too. Because I know that every time I add somebody to my team, I get $50. And then I help them add somebody to the team. That's another $25. So I'm like, okay, that could add to that $8,333 per month. So if I do that 10 times, that's an extra $500.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited. And if I do that, keep doing it, rinse and repeat, that $8,333 a month is mine. I am claiming it. I'm claiming it. Okay, so we got about 4 minutes left. What is let's see. We gonna put some, let's see if we can open up the chat. I got Richard's name on here. I'm gonna leave it on there, even though he's not here today. Shout out to our other host, Mr. Richard Wilson III, not feeling well tonight. We send you all the love. We send you all the love, Mr. Richard Wilson. We call him Uncle Pawpaw. Uncle Pawpaw, we wish you all the love. We hope you feel better. Here go Tina with her
These are
with
my
her heart. I
hearts.
love it. Yes. I can't. I love it. There we
We're
go.
gonna get it. We're gonna get it.
There
You
you
got
go.
it. I see.
There you go. Yes. I did it. I did
Let's
it.
go.
Okay, so we started a new book today. And I have to say, I could not find my book, but I was determined to be coachable. So I went and listened to it on YouTube. I'll drop the link in the chat for those that want to listen. But The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. This is our new book. We started today. And I think one of the reasons I couldn't find it, because I was looking for a thinner book. This book is thick. This book is thick, y'all.
Mhm.
I was not ready. I don't know why I was looking for a smaller book. And I never really finished this book. I picked it up. I have picked it up, but I never really finished it. It's not an easy read. I'm just going to forewarn y'all. It's not an easy read. He's real technical about it. I mean, I guess I was just expecting, like, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I'm expecting it to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do these 7 things and you'll be a highly effective person. No, that is not. That's not the way this is written. He's talking about paradigm shifting, and even in here, he talks about writing your mission statement. So writing is very important, and that was something that took me a long time to wrap my mind around. Like, the Bible says, write the vision and make it plain so that he who reads it can run with it and see it come to fruition. So, writing it down is important, y'all. And this is not the only book that talks about that. I can name at least 4 other books that we've read that talks about writing it down. Think and Grow Rich, write your definite statement of definiteness of purpose. In this book here, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he talks about making it a mission statement. What is your mission statement? Do you live by that? So if you could leave the people with anything today, what would be your final words? We got about a minute, 160 seconds left.
I would say my final statement would be know what you want, clarify that image of what you want in your mind. Set a goal, go for it. Set a date to get it done.
Absolutely. I agree. I agree. Know what you want, write it down, and set a date. And then go back and read that thing. And every time you accomplish that thing, start again. Write down your next goal, write a date. Even in Goals by Brian Tracy, he tells you write down 100 goals. He says write down 100 goals. Pick your top 10. Out of that top 10, pick your top three. Out of that top three, pick one that you want to work on, and then write down the steps that you think are going to get you there. That's how Joy Journeys was born. That's how the tourism side was. It went from ride share to luxury black SUVs, right? So it works. It works, y'all. So this has been another episode of Cash Flow Conversations. Like we always say, it's for everybody, anybody over the age of 18 who wants multiple streams of income. We have the information to get you there. Thanks to our partnership with Planet Marketing, and we are growing and glowing over here, y'all. So you can schedule a one-on-one call with Coach Chris Jackson. That's me, Richard Wilson III. He's not with us today, or you can schedule with Coach Tina J. Our DMs are open. In other words, slide into those DMs so you can come on and be our guest. Thank you so much for watching. We will see y'all in 2 weeks, maybe one. I don't know. Have a good night.
Good night.